What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another predicted lineup video. No, Simeon has not morphed into another human body, but we got John back in here for the predicted lineup. Massive game this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, not this
Title
weekend.
decider.
Massive weekend. Massive game tomorrow. Top v second. And it's not Liverpool who are top, is it? It's Tottenham Hotspur who are top of the league.
I still have to pinch myself. I can't believe it.
Have you been getting nosebleeds?
A little bit, but I still feel disappointed that from the result of the weekend, you know. I felt like if we could have had a little cushion there, it would have made this game a little bit easier. But I still feel as though we can go up there with a bit of confidence.
I don't see why we can't go up with confidence. Obviously, there's that Anfield record to talk about. They haven't lost there for like 2.5 years. Do you think that this is a kind of game Jose's really going to bite his teeth into, and this is the kind of moments he lives for?
This is his moment now. It really is. And they're on the wobble at the moment. So this is the time to really act like the bullies and actually get a result, I think. And if we can do that, if we can get a win, I don't want to preempt it, but if we can get that win at Anfield, then we're really talking about ourselves as, genuine title contenders, not just pretenders. Do
you think that if the mentality hasn't shifted, if we do go up there and get a result tomorrow, the mentality will definitely shift?
I would hope so, yeah. I think it would. It would have to, because, that is just a huge scalp, and I think that will just trickle down into the belief in the players.
It's something that nobody's done in 2.5 years, literally.
Yeah. So we need to treat this like a cup final, which I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just when I watched the Liverpool-Fulham game, they almost didn't look. There was no urgency for them to get the winning goal. I thought I was really surprised by that.
But you know that they're going to turn up tomorrow.
Yeah,
you just know they're going to turn up.
Yeah, well, hopefully we do as well, and it's a real gun ho kind of, tit for tat game.
All right. Well, let's get into predicted lineup. Jose has done his press conference. The team news is out. Japhet Tanganga out. Got an injury against Antwerp. Eric Lamela still out. This guy Eric Lamela just seems to get injuries that nobody ever sees, and he's out for the rest of the season every time.
Every single season.
And whenever he gets these injuries, they're just like, he'll be back next week. He's a doubt for this game. He'll be back next week, and then we just never see him again.
I'm just a bit bored of it.
So Tanganga and Lamela out. Gareth Bale is a doubt. Jose said about Gareth Bale that he could make it, but he doesn't think he will.
Yeah.
So
how can he be injured? He hasn't really been exerted this season yet, has he?
Well, they said for the last game he was ill, so I think he's just recovering from that.
Is that what it is? It's more of an illness. Okay, yeah.
But anyway, let's get into the lineup.
Yep.
The formation is an interesting one because we all know how Jose sometimes likes to throw a curveball in these kind of games. Do you think he will, or do you think we're going to stick to the 4-3-3?
I think 4-3-3.
Yeah.
I think so. I think there's almost a slight, for me, it's when you adapt for the opposition, I think it's almost a little bit of a psychological weakness. It's a little bit like the Fury versus Wilder, when Wilder tried to put on weight in order to match what Fury was doing. I think you need to stick to your own game and play your strongest team, your strongest formation, and say you adapt to us, not the other way around. That's just what I feel.
You say that, but Jose Mourinho's been here, done that, got the T-shirt in these sort of games, and you see him changing up his kind of go-to formation in these games quite a lot of times and coming on top as well.
Well, I trust Jose in whatever he wants to do, but I've also seen this with Poch, where he's panicked and against in the big games, and he's put Son at left wing back. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think it's a bit different.
And I just think
you're not going to see Jose doing that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I don't want to see too much of reinventing the wheel here. I just think tweak it, but don't play into Liverpool's hands too much psychologically. That's just my feeling. But yeah, I trust Jose in whatever he wants to do. I trust him.
All right, so we're going for 4-3-3. In goal, obviously, captain Hugo Lloris. Right back, you got Doherty, you got Aurier, but Aurier's done enough.
Aurier's cemented his place now. He's number one now. Yeah, definitely.
Left back, obviously, Sergio Reguilon surely has got that place nailed down.
Definitely.
The two centre-back positions pick itself as well. I think it's Toby Alderweireld and Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
Any questions on that one? Or
I think they
no.
I mean, it'll be Rodon then Sanchez in that order, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I think we have to, Dyer and Toby definitely, yeah.
CDM, that also picks himself in the best Pierre in London, the best Pierre in the Premier League, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
No doubt. This is where it gets interesting. The midfield.
The next position alongside Højbjerg, Moussa Sissoko, I think
he's definitely going to play.
He picks himself.
Yeah,
100%.
He's definitely going to play.
And especially in a game like this, where they're going to have a lot of firepower, they're going to be going for it. Liverpool, because Liverpool they don't change up their style for anyone. They always go and win the game, try and win the game. You know what I mean? So Sissoko and Højbjerg are going to be imperative for what we're trying to do. Kind of stay strong, counter-attack.
Yeah, physical,
So we're going to need the physicality of Sissoko and Højbjerg. Now, the one next to them in the three is going to be interesting. So it's going to be a toss-up between Giovanni Lo Celso, Tongi and Ndombele.
I think he's going to play Ndombele.
I've got a feeling it's going to be Gio, but I can see why Tongi could play as well.
Because I see that. I think he sees Ndombele as his regular starter, but I think Gio is a good impact sub because he's got a lot of, in this on a 60th minute or 70th minute, he comes in and just injects a new little bit of pace in there, and I think that's the way I think that's his formula at the moment. I can see him doing that again. When
you compare their last two starts, Giovanni Lo Celso was out of this world. Tongi Ndombele didn't really play that well against Crystal Palace. So if you're going to kind of say who's actually more on form, I would actually argue Giovanni's actually a tiny bit more on form.
Did he play that well against Palace?
He came on. He played. I thought everything kind of that was good through Spurs' attack because we actually played quite well those last 10-15 minutes, and I thought a lot was coming through him.
Yeah.
And if you look at the game on Thursday, he was by far the best player on the pitch, but it is the Europa League game.
That's the thing. I don't think Jose is going to look at that and judge it on Europa. I think he sees the Europa and Premier League as two completely different entities, and I don't know. I think that Jose sees a lot in Ndombele and he has a lot of trust in him for the big games.
The reason why I do play Ndombele is because he is probably the most press-resistant midfielder in the Premier League. Never mind.
That's a nice expression, yeah. Press-resistant.
But
that's a good way of describing it.
Because
actually,
he can get 2-3 men on him, and he just one little turn and he gets out of it.
Yeah,
and
he drops
I think
a shoulder.
That's going to be so important in the Liverpool game. So I think you're right. Tongi Ndombele goes in there.
Yeah, and then if we need to change things up, Gio's a great substitute, I think, for that position.
All right, so far, let's run through the team so far. So it's Lloris in goal, Aurier right back, Reguilon left back, Dyer and Toby in the centre-back positions with Højbjerg, Sissoko and Tongi Ndombele in the midfield. Left wing, Heung-min Son, we don't even need to talk about that one. Up front, Harry Kane, the dynamic duo. And then on the right-hand side, seeing as Bell's a doubt, I don't really see him playing. It's a toss-up between Bergwijn and Lucas, and there's not really an argument there anymore, is there?
No. I mean, he could put in Lucas in that position. I could see that, but I still think he'll play Bergwijn.
Because Bergwijn, yes, he's not doing enough kind of going forward, but what he is doing really well is kind of defending from the front, using up all his energy, and kind of like he looks gassed out in the 60 or 70 minutes, Steven Bergwijn, and that is all to do with the work rate he puts in the pitch. And I think it's going to be really, really important, especially with their wingers of Salah and Mane. They're going to need to be tracked back, doubled up on. They're going to need to be done a job on, and I think Steven Bergwijn could be really important there.
Yeah, and I actually really like it when we bring on Lucas or Gio or both. Let's say we're a goal up and we got like on the 60th, 70th minute. I think that's a really good time to bring on one or both of those, because what that does, that pace and that shutting down off the ball speed they have starts to get us control of the game a little bit more, and it prevents us dropping too flat, which is what happened against Palace. So I really like that as impact subs to change the dimension, the dynamism of the game at that point. So I think that's going to be our starting lineup. Yeah.
All right. If this is the starting lineup, what score are you going for? This is the big one, John.
Oh, go on, you go first.
In my preview, I said 1-0 Spurs. 1-0 Spurs. Jose masterclass. And then Spurs to go 3 points clear at the top.
I think it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. That's what Sim said.
Is it?
Sim said 1-1.
I think it's going to be 1-1. And I think we'll score first as well.
I think if we score first, there's more chance of us winning, but I think it plays into our hands. That's our game plan, get that early goal, try sit back and hold that lead. If Liverpool score first, it could get a bit dangerous for us because we'll go out there searching for that goal and gaps could appear. Yeah,
but as long as we show that urgency, I don't mind. As long as we dare to do, that's okay. That's okay for me. What I don't want to see is go the goal up and then sit back and play trying not to lose. Even when you're a goal up, you still have a certain sense of industriousness about you. You still have a certain amount of urgency about you, but just keeping it tight at the back. I still want to see that. I don't want to see just dropping all back and last-ditch defending,
Would you take a draw right now?
I think you'd say yes. I think you'd say yes, just technically because it's at Anfield, you know what I mean? And then I'd fancy our chances at home.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you look at all the teams that have won the league, they've gone and they've taken a massive scalp. Generally they do, and that's a title. That's a real title showing title credentials.
Let me tell you this. Apparently, I read a stat. I think it's in every single season Jose has managed. I think wherever his team has been at December, his team has ended up at the end.
All right, so extra pressure on us. Well, it's looking good at the moment, I have to say. It is looking good. I guess I would take a point, but at the same time, I want to see us being brave.
Yeah.
Really, come on, take it to them. Why not? Like, let them feel as though that, get them on the wobble a little bit.
Also, we've got to be clever in how we do things, because you're not going there and playing any sort of team. This is Liverpool, Premier League champions, the year before European champions. This is the best team in Europe. I know they're blighted with injuries at the moment, but they're still playing well, and especially at Anfield. At Anfield, they have won every single game this season, so this is no game to take lightly, even with their kind of injury problems. So look, I think the way Jose is going to set up, we all know the way Jose is going to set up in this game. We're going to set up to frustrate Liverpool. We're going to set up to try and score early and frustrate them for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I just don't want to see us, as soon as we start the game, I don't want to see us doing really, he said in the documentary, like shitty passes. I don't want to see us just passing it back to Lloris for the first 2 minutes of the game. I want to see us just... I saw that against Palace, and I saw that the game before as well. Just negative passes, Just, if you've got a chance to go forward, go forwards. Don't, because that sets the tone for the next 15, 20 minutes of the game, I've noticed. Those opening phases set the tone. And I think if you set the tone positively, then you can get control of the game early on. You can have the best play for that period. But I just want to see us being a little bit more positive straight from the off, and then I think we can get on the front foot.
Well, I think we can surprise them like that, and that Liverpool are there to be got at. You can get in behind their fullbacks. Their fullbacks play so high up the pitch, and Trent and Robertson, yes, they're absolutely class players, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is not exactly the best defender. He's a great right back, but he's not the best defender. Yeah. So you can get in behind Liverpool, especially with their defensive injuries at the moment. They're top two centre-backs out for the rest of the season. Yeah, exactly. They're there to be got at.
Yeah, this is the time
to
get at them.
We need to go there and put pressure on them.
Exactly. And I want to see Kane, trying to get into that influential patch in the middle of the field. I thought he was a little bit too far forward on the weekend, and also a little bit too deep. He was sort of like in his own box. I want to see him sort of taking up those positions where he can be really influential, like the linchpin in the centre of the field, where the runner's on the outside. And I think if we can do that, then we can really hurt them. So I'm actually feeling positive. I'm feeling surprisingly going to Anfield. I'm feeling like, quietly confident is probably the best thing. Quietly confident.
I said the week leading up to the Palace game, I said I'm actually more confident for the Liverpool game than I was for the Palace game.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Yeah, that's a weird paradox.
It is a weird paradox, but we ended up drawing the Palace game, and let's see what happens at Anfield.
You could be right. Yeah,
I could be right, but look, let me just run through that lineup with you one more time. So that's Hugo Lloris in goal, Aurier right back, Reguilon left back, Dyer and Toby in the centre back positions, Højbjerg, Sissoko, and Ndombele with Son, Kane and Steven Bergwijn up front. John is going 1-1, same as Sim. I'm going 1-0 to Spurs. Let me know in the comment section below what you think the scoreline is going to be, who you think is going to be in the lineup. I mean, these lineups are just getting easier and easier to
this could have been 2 minutes. We've had to stretch this out.
What I mean? But look, there you have it. Yeah. Let me know in the comment section below any thoughts regarding the game. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs. Massive game.